meet a guy today, whatever the guy is going to say to you, I've said it to 10,000 girls. So I know what the way it's going to play. So that kind of a thing really, really helps a lot. That's why it's important to have that open, honest, vulnerable relationship with our daughters. Is only an insecure man that will challenge the confidence and the braveness of a woman that to the point that where it leads to an abuse. Equally, if a woman's identity is wrapped in the marriage, in the MRS, and then the man sees that as a weakness, inevitably, the man is going to use that as a point of push and a button to press on the woman most of the time. And it is important that a man, most men, they would think twice before they actually abuse a woman if they know that that woman can stand her ground
How
very
about
well and stand.
emotional abuse?
Well,
It may not be physical. How about
that's
emotional?
part that I think that's part of it. If you can stand your ground in terms of understanding who you are, or you can start subtly that you don't know, and then over a period of time, if you because I'm a man and I know to some extent how men think and what makes them to start the abuse, what can make them stop, and is weak. The other side of being weak is to abuse, and the other side of insecurity is to abuse. The other side of falling short or being deficient always lead to abuse. So it's like throwing what I lack onto that woman. And so many things could be inadequacy of not having enough finance, not being able to do that. So not being able to settle it rightly, then it will lead to abuse. And that part of emotional abuse could be silence abuse, not to talk to you. Not everything is physical abuse, of course. You know, like you rightly said, there's emotional abuse, treating the woman as if she doesn't worth anything. And this is why I'm saying that when a woman knows who she is, right? Over time, not immediately, over time, you'll be able to stand your ground to tell yourself, I'm not going to stand for this. And the moment you start fighting back the abuse, that is when you turn the heat on the abuser. I'm not being afraid. This is very important. When you know yourself as a woman, I'm not afraid to let go the MIRS. It's not the end of the world. That
It
is
is
not going to give me
already. That is
the
the end
thing.
of the world.
No, it's not. To be honest, it's really not because
Okay, what are you going
of
to
course
tell the woman that thinks it's the end of the world? A lot of women are in
but
abusive relationship right now.
that's what I'm trying to say. If
Mm,
is whatever you tolerate will control you. Whatever you tolerate in life is going to control you. So once you say to yourself that this is it, I just want to continue to bear Mrs. Whatever, right? And I don't want to leave it at the extent of the abuse. It's not only yourself you are abusing, you are abusing the God that creates you. You know, you are also
wow.
abusing the children that you have seen you being abused by your husband because you want MIRS, because you are also creating a form of a legacy. You are putting in the mind of your children that that's what they should accept as
Yeah,
well when if
the
they ever face
templates.
that situation. So yeah, you're telling them a template. I think people should be able to see themselves the way God creates them,
I
but
like
that
that.
their identity, who this is who I am. This is how God created me, not what you think I am, not what you want me to be, not the subjection you want to put me through. But I know who I am, and so I am whatever it is. I'm going to fight it through. So MIRS is not the end of the world. It's absolutely not. You should be able to live without that. You know, maybe the society might want to say, "Oh, she's divorced, she's separated,"
Yeah, so how do
and
they,
then because
what
of
will you say to that
and
woman that's afraid of that shame, that stigma? What would you say? How do they manage it?
I think the word shame and stigma is what you put on yourself. If you put it on yourself, then it will be. If people want to put it on you and you refuse to put it and change the narrative, because you have to tell your own story. You have to establish your own narrative. That's what you think. This is who I am.
Somebody
Is a change
say,
of
my mom
story.
needs to hear you,
Yeah.
sir.
It's a different ballgame because if you can say, okay, no, that's what you think that because I'm divorced and separated, and I don't. It doesn't change my identity. It doesn't change who I am. As a matter of fact, I might be going through this so that I can help many other people who are wrapped up who are enslaved, who are in chain, so that my story can be a deliverance story for them. So somebody has to be the Moses to take the people out of Egypt.
Absolutely.
So somebody has to go and bear the cross for
You
them.
are in the spirit. You have entered the
So
spirit already.
so you cannot say because I bear MRS, then that was going to be the end of my life. And a man taking I'm created in the image of God. Why would you want to belittle me, not to be what God makes me to be?
Absolutely.
And if I have children, what example am I laying out for my children? How do I see myself? How do I devalue myself to the point where you can talk to me anyhow? Treat me anyhow and beat me anyhow. That's absolute nonsense. I will not tolerate it. Once I tolerate it, then I allow you to continue. And there's never a stop gap to someone who have accepted it. That's why whatever you tolerate will control you. So I'm advising people, if they are feeling an abuse or you've been through the abuse, I think the time has come that you almost like you face the wall. You turn back. I ain't taking this anymore. And then you got to be able to face it right. Take the MIRS. I am still a child of God. COG, I'm child of God. It's better than MRS. So that's who I am, and that will change the story. Because you can't
Preach
take
it,
that
Pastor.
for you
Preach
can't
it,
take
preach
that
it,
one away. You can't take
preach
that one away from
it,
me.
Canon.
And and